Asa, who will moderate the session. Business and commerce. And there's the wrong moderator on the slide. Culture and tourism, business and commerce. Please, the jury members, make sure that you have your InnoVote link. We checked it and it should work perfectly with the Wi-Fi today. All good. My mistake. It's actually, the slides were wrong. My mistake, the slides were right. So I'm handing over to Matthias Rojas, who was exactly on this stage, how many years ago? 2020 in Cascais, Portugal. He pitched his solution, Social Lab, and was chosen as one of the winners. Now he's joining the WSA Chile committee and is moderating this session. Matthias, over to you.
Thank you very much, Nora. Great introduction, nothing else to say, just to be done. I'm very happy to be here right now, and I'm eager to listen to the different solutions, innovations that we're going to have in this stage right now. Just wanted to make sure everybody understands the rules of this pitch that we're having right now. First of all, we are listening to a 3-minute pitch, very strict 3-minute pitch, so please don't do more than 3 minutes because I will have to cut the presentation. So please, entrepreneurs, be sure to follow the 3-minute pitch. Then I'm going to moderate a quick Q&A. I have to emphasize in that, a quick Q&A between the jury and the entrepreneurs that are going to present here. We don't want like very long questions and very long answers. We just want to be precise and concise about what we are asking and answering. And afterwards, we will have a mentoring session with all the entrepreneurs, innovators that we are listening, okay? So, I just remember that the jury, which is over here, is okay with the voting system. Are you okay? Everybody knows? Yes, I see a lot of fingers up. Yes, no? You are not? Maybe if we could get some help from the team for the voting system right here. I don't know if someone could help. Nora? Nora is, I'm sorry. We need some help for the voting. So we have to be sure of that first. I'm going to, while we solve the voting issue, I would like to call Demar from Brazil. Yes, please. I would like to welcome to Rodrigo Credidio from Brazil, from Demar. Did you get the instructions? 3 minutes, Q&A, more or less 4 and 5 minutes? Yes, it's okay. Are we? Okay, we're charging your PowerPoint presentation, so please you can relax. Or we can move here. Yes. Because you're going to speak here? Okay. Is it? Okay. So we're waiting for the presentation to chart. You have your... Okay, great. And our jury is very concentrated. They have their voting system. And thank you very much for the time. Are you okay with the timer? Okay. Yes. Don't forget to watch the timer, please, because otherwise I'm going to take the microphone. Yes. Yes? ¿Todo bien? ¿Sí? I would leave you, please, a big applause to, to Rodrigo, perdón, to Rodrigo.
Hi, everyone. My pleasure. My name is Rodrigo, and I work with inclusion and accessibility in Brazil. And today I have a question for you. Let me see if it's working. No? No? Do you know the name of any street artist from your city or from your country? Anyone? No? Neither do I. It's not working, this remote. So this is because most of the graffiti artists are living in invisibility. In Brazil, it's the same. In São Paulo, 88% of them have education up to secondary level. 38% depend economically on their art, and besides having 62% having another occupation, they declare that the most important income for them is the street art. So based on this problem, we defined three main objectives. The first one, and the main important, is to provide more visibility and opportunity for them. Then, amplify contact between the street art and São Paulo citizens, providing more culture. And the third one, providing more accessibility to people with disabilities. In terms of SDGs, our project is very well aligned to number 8 and 10. And as you can see, we have a huge impact locally. In terms of target group, we are speaking to 12 million people that live in the city of São Paulo. So what is the Street Art Museum? It's an open source web platform that you can navigate for free and a very easy way with accessibility. So far, it's the first one museum online since 2019 with this proposed. And currently, we are offering more than 200 graffiti arts from different artists, in total 180. And for us, art must be very inclusive in a broader way. So due to that, we planned accessibility features to have a very rich and interactive experience by people with disabilities, such as audio description, sign language, translator, and also the high contrast colors, as you can see in black and white. Oops. Okay, in terms of impact, we have collected very positive feedbacks from the artists that have participated since 2019. I brought one of them from Dinas Miguel. Mar has provided me more followers and new clients. And this is one of the arts. Another very important impact, we were well covered by the press, not only locally, nationally, but also internationally, by the New York Times. And the third main results, we have performed a very good growth in terms of artists, from 30 to 100% graffiti artists. So I invite you to make invisible the invisible. Please visit our website. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Gracias, Rodrigo. We're just in time. A big applause.
With all the problems in technology.
So
okay.
I would like to give the time to the jury, anyone from the jury, to ask for a quick Q&A sessions. Okay?
Here.
I will go there quickly. Please be precise on your questions and your answers.
So what would you define as success?
The income that they have in additional. So we are collecting this information from the artists to see how is becoming the growth in terms of income in an annual basis. So far we are collecting this information. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Jury, any other questions? Please.
Connor.
It was a very clear answer, thank you. Can you continue? You're collecting this information. Do you have any results to share so far?
No, just that qualitative information. We are trying to be more quantitative in order to know how are impacting their income in a very direct way.
Yes.
Does it add to decriminalization of street artists?
We don't have this feedback, but probably it will be one of the indirect goals that we are achieving, because in São Paulo there are a lot of this kind of prejudice. Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Chica.
Thank you.
Rodrigo, well, first of all, I saw that you were using Hugo for the sign language, right?
from
and they were
Handtalk.
winners of WSA as well,
exactly.
so that's super cool. And the question is, what is your personal motivation to do this? Are you an artist yourself, or?
I'm a person with disability, with physical disability, and I have a company since 2014, and that's why everything that is related to humanity, art, I'm in. So that's why we brought accessibility to this project.
Thank you,
More questions?
Rodrigo. What would you say is your key innovation in this solution compared to other platforms?
Well, it's the first platform in Brazil. We don't have another competitor. And we combined all the accessibility features to get a broader audience for this project. So it's these two features.
Any other question from the jury? You're okay?
No?
Okay. Muchas gracias.
Thank you.
A big applause. Thank you very much, Rodrigo. I please ask the innovation, it's July. Are you okay? Yes. By now, you should already have access to the voting platform. Please let me know if there's any trouble. You should be voting right now. So please. Tamar. I would like to give a big applause to Tamar, please. From It's July. Rules are clear, 3 minutes. The timer is there. Okay?
Yeah.
You're okay?
Yeah,
Great.
I'm stealing the mic. Family and friendships are the two of the greatest facilitators of happiness. The way people communicate has changed. 3 out of the top 5 downloaded apps in 2022 were social products. 2 of them didn't exist 2 years ago. At the same time, loneliness has been named as a new public health epidemic, and this is a fundamental issue on families' well-being and mental health. A new research showed that twice as many parents compared to non-parents are feeling left behind or isolated from their surrounding. The lack of social ties has the same physical effect as smoking or obesity. The growing trend of social platforms, together with the widespread loneliness, has made families seek these intimate interactions more than ever before. The family tech category is a growing one. Think about it. There are more than 120 million families in the EU and US alone. My name is Tamar Lieberman. As represented, I'm the co-founder and CEO of It's July. It's July is the next generation social platform created to empower families to connect with like-minded families anywhere in the world. Our trusted and safe environments fosters a safer community, so we enable families to connect and form relationships and friendships while traveling or at home. Engage in group chats, share advice and recommendations, and even create and plan events with and for other families in the community. By leveraging advanced AI and technology, we analyze user preferences data, providing families with the best personalized matches based on shared values and interests. Our platform is super diverse as we welcome all sorts of families and children. So these are real families from the platform. 15% of them are, 15% of them are single parents. We have families from the LGBTQ community. We have families from multicultural, expat, refugees, children with disability, and many more. We are already live in more than 40 destinations worldwide,
in less than a year, we had massive growth. But the important thing is that 94% of the families that were matched reported that the connection brought joy and value to their lives. So we enable sustainable communities where human settlements are inclusive, safe, and resilient. The company has won several prestigious awards, including the UNWTO, and was selected to participate in leading accelerators such as Techstars Tel Aviv and Google for Startups in Israel. Remember, family and friendships are the two of the greatest facilitators of happiness. Join us to create a world where no family has to feel lonely again.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Tamar. Great presentation. Now, the jury, please, can you help me? Questions from the jury?
Hi, thank you for your wonderful solution. I have a question regarding data privacy and to make sure that the families are actually safe on the platform.
Sure, so it's a good question. We are, of course, GDPR compliant, and I must share that if we think the information is not out there, it is. So the platform knows how many children I have, their interests, and so on. What we enable is the creation of a family profile, and you can only see the information if you are logged in, and you can see the information about the families. But I think that families take the advantage of having a unique family profile, it's the first one, and add a lot of information that is already out there, meaning ages, gender, interests, hobbies, and so on.
A lot of questions. Peter, you have a question? And then, pardon.
Your happiness is infectious. Everybody loves it.
Thank you.
What does it mean when you say next generation social platform?
Yeah, so the idea is that matchmaking platform today are being used like for everything. It's dating, we know it for dating, but it's also for co-workers, finding employees. And we think that no one really tackles the category of families. Like the family tech category, when I say family tech, usually people think I'm talking about femtech, but it's famtech. And I think relating to this category is a new category, and also addressing the social needs of a family and having a multi-entity profiles, not like LinkedIn or Facebook where it's a solo individual, but have multi-members, family on the platform and matching them with other families and enabling them to do different things on the platform. So we call it next generation.
Yeah, thanks so much for your, I'm here. Hi, I was wondering, could you share some key facts, like how many families are in your app, what countries is it available, and what language? And personally, I would also be keen to know, is it mostly mothers or fathers, or if it's a single mother, single father who is applying or registering? Thanks.
Yeah, so we have 15,000 families on the platform, which means nearly 45 members. So each family has multiple members in their families on the platform. We operate in 40 destinations. I can share that it's good and bad because we are kind of a marketplace, a C2C platform, so we need liquidity in its destination. So the profiles are being opened sometimes by the father, sometimes by the mother, but they include all members of the families. I guess there are some countries that you will see the profiles opening more by the mothers and some by the fathers, but we have all that data.
Okay, my question is also, again, advocate for children. I mean, children do have the right to their own picture, and it is really a problem, I think, as parent, putting your child out without consent. So how do you deal with that? Because
you don't have to put the children's photo on the platform. You can choose whatever photo you can. You can put it like from the back, that a lot of families do. Again, you can't see the information of the family unless you are logged in. So you don't have to put the family profile picture. Again, I think that the next generation of young families are more used to social media and sharing a lot about themselves. So whoever is used to be sharing, they share, and whoever doesn't, doesn't. You don't have to share the family picture.
Yeah, but the child cannot choose.
No, they can't.
It's because... Yes, sorry.
Okay, my question is, do you use any filtering or verification method for the families participating? Did you have any fake profiles from families?
Yeah, not fake profile for families, but we have, for example, an au pair looking for a job and opening a profile. So this is a safety issue that every platform that has people on it needs to take care of. So Uber, Airbnb, Get, all of them has to vet, right, the profiles. We are a young company, so what we do for now, so no safety measurement is perfect by itself, but what we do now is we vet the profile, so the platform basically cross-references it with other social platforms to ensure that the family exists. And then we have the in-app chat, so we track the conversation, and we can, it can alert us if there is something that is wrong with the conversation between the families.
Yes, but sorry, I have to order the questions because there were a lot. You wanted to ask something? Okay. Okay. And then there. Could you help me afterwards? There. Please.
Go ahead. Okay. I love, this is so new, and I love the aspect of diversity and inclusion. My question is, is July bridge the gap between Israeli and Palestinian families, or is it being done currently?
So we already are doing that, of course. So yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, talk to me about the accessibility. You have 45 families on.
No, 15,000.
15? No, I'm talking about that. You said 45 families, 15,000
members. Yeah.
Okay, I just need to understand, how do you select those that are going on, or how do the families access the...
So we don't select. Basically, we are a B2C company, and we use different channels to market our platform in different B2C channels, as you already know. But what we did for the last year is use real people. It's brand ambassador, but we don't use influencers like Luisa. We just regular people like me and you, and they talk. If they enjoy the platform, they talk a lot about us. They generate a lot of organic growth, and yeah.
I'm so sorry. I know there's a lot of you that already have questions, but we're running out of time. I'll make sure that the ones that had their hand raised have another chance. So thank you very much, Tamara. The Frida Immersive team is here. Freedom, okay. The jury is okay with the voting system? Everything cool? Okay. I would like to welcome Alejandro to the stage, please. A big applause from Frida Immersive. Yes, it should be. Can you test it, please? Yes. Okay, 3 minutes. And you have the timer over there.
All right. Hi, my name is Alejandro. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Well, this is what we did is Frida Kahlo Immersive. And Mexico City has a lot of museums, but less visitors each year, right? And what we have learned is that passive experiences appeal less and less, you know, like in younger generations. So we decided what kind of cultural experiences could we develop so more people can come here and do experience something beautiful and something that inspires them. So what we did, we decided to make the first immersive experiences in Mexico, and also about Frida Kahlo in a very different way, because it's not just digital, it's physical, it's scenography, it's audio, it's interaction, it's many things, right? So here's a video of that. So it's a multi-sensory experiences that take the artwork of Frida Kahlo, and also their story and her life in a monumental scale, you know, accompanied with music, with sculptures, with interaction, with digital animation. And our goal is to inspire through the Frida, she was a resilience person, you know, and that story that we hope is that everybody can see what is resilience and what can be done in order to pass like complex experiences, right? So 20 different paintings of Frida Kahlo. We try to get the most important parts of each of the paintings and put it in a world where you can be there and not just learn, but also be there and feel the way that she feels when she was having some troubles. It's a 50-minute experience scored by 26 different Mexican musicians, all women from different parts of Mexico, and you can feel that part of the woman sense. And we developed some things in order to make this happen. Proprietary show control, smart app that is synchronized with the show, so you can learn more about like each part of the show. And with Immersive Frida, we think we are contributing to the following SDGs: the number 9 and the number 4. You know, by developing an innovative technological experience that through multimedia storytelling, we're trying to facilitate to tell the story of Frida Kahlo, right? Great things have happened. More than 150,000 people came to the show, and NPS like 80%, 51 app downloads. So.
Muchas gracias, Alejandro. A big applause, please. Thank you very much.
It was really fast.
Yes. No, hold your microphone because you're receiving questions. Why are you so eager to know more? I'm sorry, I'll try to do my best. You are first. I give the microphone. Remember, quick questions, quick answers. Okay, 4 minutes.
Thank you so much for your presentation. I love Frida Kahlo. I think this is super important. So I wanted to ask about the aspect of innovation. So how is that innovative, given that these immersive exhibitions are all over the world, all over the place? What's the difference with this one?
I think two things. It's not just digital. It's a physical experience and also digital. So the digital part is the thing that we believe can make the magic, and that can like the magic is in the technological part that is not in front of you. The content in front of you is Frida Kahlo, but it's happening a lot of things. So you can relate to her and to her life by all your senses. That's why it's like immersive. And I think that like the innovative part of Frida Kahlo is that you live the experience and feel what she was feeling. That's the difference, I think.
Many thanks for your presentation. My question is building a little bit on Luisa's question. It's kind of, you talked in the beginning about a variety of museums in the city. So is the idea that this is scalable? To what extent is it scalable? Can you replicate the infrastructure and the technology very easily? And is that your ambition? Thanks.
Yeah, actually there's two ways of answering this. One is yes, because it's digital. But at the same time, we believe that the digital experience is not getting there because it's you don't have like the scarcity of the content. So when you make it also hybrid with some art from the artist and some physical part, yeah, you can place it like everywhere. So as you have seen in many parts of the world, you can bring these experiences, and there are some venues that already have the infrastructure to get in there. So I think it's a more compelling experience for the younger generations.
Is it me? Yeah. Hi. A very quick one here. I really love the fact that you involved women in the production of the content and everything. I'm pretty sure it makes the whole difference. I just would like to know if you had women involved also in coding and developing and the tech part of it. Yes. It's not an attack or anything, it's pure curiosity.
Yeah. Actually, in many parts of that. First, in the script, there's women involved in coding also, in art, in music, in every single part. Maybe like the whole production team is woman, and we decided to do that way because it was going to be like really sensitive about like the story of her and trying to bring the story to another level. It's not the things that you say or you show, but the feeling inside that, you can feel it after that.
How do you protect the intellectual property of what you have done if there's a global effort by Headcount and others under the www.immersivefrida.com, which is a direct competition to what you're doing? How do you protect yourself against that?
Can you repeat the question because I didn't get that? I'm sorry.
If you look on the internet and if you go to Boston, Vienna, or some other places, there is immersive installations called Frida Kahlo.
Yeah.
And the web address, the URL is immersivefrida.com.
Yeah.
Not like what you have, Frida Immersive. Okay?
Yeah.
So, and my question is, how do you protect yourself in terms of your business model and also your intellectual property?
The thing is, there is no way of doing that because the IP it belongs to the Bank of Mexico, you know, and the business model of them, it was to share the intellectual property with different producers. You know, I think it was a mistake, but it was the way it is. So there is no way you can do that. We depend on the IP of the Bank of Mexico, Frida Kahlo. And I think the only IP that we have here is like the new exhibition that we did. So it's a matter not to protect the IP, but the business model. You know, it's that you go first or you develop better relationship with the Bank of Mexico.
Thank you so much. So I had the opportunity to visit a museum, and I wish I knew about that, you know, immersive experience. But the question, and I think one of the challenges about this immersive experience is the accessibility. You run a one-off show. It's not all year round. So what are the challenges about making that something permanent for every year, you know, visitors of Mexico City?
Well, I think there's two things in that. I think it could be permanent in Mexico City because it's a city that gets a lot of tourism and from all over the world. Also, a place like Riviera Maya, it's a good place for doing that because all different weeks have different kind of tourism, right? And I think that's the way it should be in order to be permanent in Mexico City or in a place where every week is a different people because otherwise, like people already saw it and they don't want to go again, you know? I think it's about city.
Thank you, Alejandro. You can take a break, please. I would like to invite to the Explora team. Okay. While he gets here, I would like to remind you that in Lab 1, there's also pitches going on from the UNDAG Prize. Nora, correct me, but that's going on there too. Please, Explora team. We're solving some technical issues right now. Arthur, ¿todo bien?
We need 2 seconds.
Okay, we need 2 seconds. Just, how are you? Are you feeling a little warm, maybe? Are you relaxed? A little warm, okay, a little warm. With all these great pitches that we are hearing right now. Yes? Great, there's thumbs up. I would like to invite Arthur and a big applause from every one of you to Arthur. Explora.
Okay. Hola a todos. I'll try to explain a little bit about this Explora. I'll play a video for you. Okay.
Why do we go to museums? Why do we travel? Once we enter an exhibition, what do? We see, we watch, we admire, but we can't touch. Sometimes we can't even hear all about the amazing stories behind each exhibition or destination. Museums are traditionally built to exhibit and preserve ancient heritage, or valuable art. But that is changing. What if we could touch, change, create, feel it, and engage with our 5 senses? What if we all could make a museum come to life? Or have a stadium tell you memories of great goals? Or even turn the streets of a city into open history books? That's what Explora is all about. Expanding the physical limits of any museum or the archived stories of a city. Connecting travel and culture lovers to museums, cities, and venues. Allowing travelers to immerse on their stories and collecting unique benefits from that. It's all about going beyond just visiting. Enabling them to change, to feel challenged and create. To connect, to share, to experience their favorite destinations like never before. And because the future is an incredible opportunity for extended and sustainable tourism, Explora is reaching this future before anyone else does.
So that one. Oh, this is what Explora. It's a platform.
The microphone, please.
It's a platform that we use AR, VR, and gamification, NFTs to engage our visitor experience. Okay? It's not working. With these engagements, we try to get results. And why we can make the difference? We are really, we already exist, and we are scalable. With a lot of prices around the world. Well, sorry. No, okay.
3 minutes are gone. I'm so sorry, Arthur, but rules have to be fair for everyone. Still, you have the chance of, no, that's yours. Your microphone is yours. You have the chance to answer the questions of this grand jury and explain a little bit more about your innovation. Please.
Thank you. Please tell me more about the rewards and the NFT that you are using.
We use some units from the gamification. So my client can put his NFTs, you can acquire in the platform. Okay.
Jerry, questions?
Can you tell us a little bit more about who's using this solution?
Yeah.
How many numbers? Where are they coming from? Do you see any difference in terms of age groups that are using this?
Yeah. We already sold 30 Explorers around the world. We have 1 million euros in our pipeline, and we developed this platform from museums, basically, but also for corporate events, for venues, congress, and this kind of jobs. Also B2B.
Arturo, is it a scalable solution? Can you explain us if it's scalable? If you have developed the project and you can put it in another destination project?
Yeah, it is. Thank you for that. It's a platform that we have in one day. You can submit your Explorer custom made for you. That's right. It's easy.
Okay, thank you. It is interesting. From the innovation perspective, in the profile here, I see also you have used blockchain. How was that actually useful for your project?
That answer, I cannot answer you I can tell you after. Okay.
So thank you, the video was very nice, but please tell us where I, for example, could go around the world to experience this, what you promised in the video, in reality.
If you can go to Portugal, we have 6 projects already. You can go to Brazil and São Paulo, we're improving a Jewish museum project, and we also have a lot of new exhibitions in our pipeline. Okay. You can go to Benfica Stadium if you want.
So building on one of the previous questions, do I understand correctly, this is essentially technology platform that you offer, or do you also offer the service around it? So in the sense that if I'm a museum in Munich, or a museum in Lisbon, or in Mexico City, anyone can contact you, you provide the platform, but also the service around it, because every museum is very different. I guess it has to be personalized or individualized to a great extent.
We also have a team to help the museum or the exhibition to make some content to the platform. We can provide help to them.
Thank you very much. After we're okay with the questions, I would like to invite the Jabu team to stage. Muchas gracias. Ah, you have your cheers there. Please, a big applause to Rodrigo from Jabu. Remember, 3 minutes, timer is there, stage is yours.
Okay. Hello everyone, I am the local representative of Jabu, and I am actually the mobile tech lead of the company. Let me start by talking about Meme Johanna. Meme Johanna was one of our first customers of Jabu. And when we met her 2 years ago, she was running a very low business because she had almost no stock on her shop. She only had like 3 bags of sugar, 3 bags of maize, and a few potatoes. When she ran out of stock, which happened very commonly for her, she had to leave her children at home, close her business for many hours, and take a long trip with a taxi to the nearest supermarket. She could only buy very few products, and she was making almost no profit at all. This is her business today, thanks to Jabu. We are creating, and actually we created, an e-commerce applications to help businesses like Meme Johanna's to restock their supplies, allowing them to focus on growing their business because they don't even need to close their shops anymore. We are offering also free deliveries. We are having a very positive impact into these communities. When we launched the e-commerce, and when I started working on the company, we were working only in Namibia. But right now, after 2 years, we are operating also in Zambia and South Africa, and we are working very hard to open Botswana as soon as possible. This is happening today. We are serving tens of thousands of informal businesses that live in isolated areas in Namibia and in Southern Africa every single day. And unfortunately, David couldn't be here. He couldn't even give you more numbers about the company. I just know that we have grown more than 40 times in the last year. But as the mobile tech lead, let me show you what we're working on. The super app. This is going to be another game changer for our customers because we are offering more than just the e-commerce. We're working on the MVP of the mobility project, in which if you are a truck owner, you can join Jabu's program and do deliveries by yourself. Wallet services, because we are digitalizing transactions and enabling our customers another payment method. Rentals are allowing our customers to even grow more by having more stock on their shops. This application is being designed to fit as better as possible in the African context. For example, Oshiwambo. You cannot select Oshiwambo because it is not an official language. This app is designed to support Oshiwambo. We understand what we're building because we understand our customers. We are creating an ecosystem that is helping these communities to be as sustainable and as successful as possible in today's economy. Thank you so much.
Muchas gracias, Rodrigo. No te muevas. Please, the jury. Please raise your hand.
Thank you very much for the presentation. You said you are serving thousands of
Yes.
companies right now with 25 trucks. How is that possible? How do you do this logistics?
We are not exactly 25 trucks. We are about 250 trucks in 3 countries. And
On the
that
presentation, I saw 25.
yeah, it was a recycle.
1 0 was missing.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm okay then.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot for your presentation. I'm wondering, can you offer such affordable prices that it's still economic for the people that use your service? If you drive up, have a drive up, and all these long distances?
I don't have exactly the number of prices, but I can tell you that it is a lot cheaper for them to buy inside of the of Jabu application, because we are making fees to the brands, and that's because we can't offer free deliveries for them.
Hi. So we know that today, especially in rural communities, the supply chain can be quite a dangerous business in the sense that it's mostly dominated by monopolies, quite strong monopolies. So what are you doing to protect the drivers that are partners of your company into these
Okay, no,
systems?
we are not a competence of them. We're actually helping them to reach these communities because they don't have the drivers or the trucks to go into these communities. We are actually the ones who are doing it. So we are partnering with these brands to do it.
With the monopolies?
Yes.
Looking at the informal work sector, in that informal work sector in these countries, what percentage of people are able to afford a smartphone?
That have a smartphone?
Or able to afford?
Informal business or the person that has a smartphone in here?
In the people that you deal with, in that informal sector, what percentage of people are able to afford a smartphone?
I don't have that number exactly. It is about 50%, and we are also providing other services, a part of the applications. For example, they can call to our customer services, doing orders through the SMS messages, and sometimes these people, they don't even know how to use a smartphone. So in that case, we have training system, and a field agents can also do the orders for them.
Thank you. Maybe quickly to add, what is your workforce? Are you part of the gig economy, or are you hiring people in those countries, providing employment opportunity? One. And second is, do you also provide financial education to your customers when they work and engage with you on a B2B level?
Can you repeat the first one? I didn't get that one.
What is your workforce? Do you hire people, or you only are part of the gig economy? You're telling people they can drive from A to B, or are they part of Jabu?
We are hiring a lot of people, actually, and this is a little bit out of my area. You can ask me any tech questions, but I know that we have a lot of people working in Namibia on this company. I mean, we are right now more than 400 people working in Jabu. And the second thing was about the financial education. Actually, we have a program, for example, for our drivers, in which we are educating them apart from driving. We are teaching them how to use their money, how to personal financials.
Last two questions there.
Okay. I would be keen to know why you chose Botswana, Namibia, South Africa, what was it, Zambia? Why did you choose these four? And is there the potential, the ambition to expand to other countries? Thank you.
I don't know. I am so sorry. I know that we are starting in Namibia because our CEO was creating a construction company to building more houses into these communities. And this is why Jabu is starting in Namibia. And the rest, I have really no much of idea.
Yes, thank you for the presentation. A quick question, just to clarify, because you presented one slide with B2B marketplace and mobility and wallet and so on. So this is your vision for the future, or is what exists already today?
We are working on it, on the MVP, and we are finishing this MVP by the end of the next month.
Okay. A big applause to Jabu. Muchas gracias. Thank you very much. And the Alloy team from Singapore. Yes. A big applause too. So please welcome to the stage to Tiffany from Alloy, Singapore. Remember, applause please. We have 3 minutes there, so you have to watch that. Okay, the stage is yours.
For 3 generations, my grandma, my mom, and I have moved to new countries and started small businesses. I grew up seeing how hard it is to access financing when the financial system doesn't trust you. Today, 90 million micro-entrepreneurs that work in climate around the world have trouble accessing finance just like us. And that is why Alloy's vision is to decentralize climate finance. Currently, only 10% of climate finance reaches a local level. And out of that, we don't know how 93% of it was spent. So there's a broken bridge between climate financing and the last mile green businesses that they aim to support. And that's why Alloy built our Loan Journey Insight platform to help climate investors directly invest in these climate micro-entrepreneurs. Using our digital token technology, we create tailored vendor ecosystems that can track the financing flow between the micro-entrepreneurs, the vendors, and their cash in and out points. And to do this, we have 3 features. One is dedicated lending, so making sure these green loans are used on green technologies and upgrading green skills. Second is repayment management, making sure that the repayment points are easier and closer to the micro-entrepreneurs. And 3 is payments tracking, working to digitize the income of these micro-entrepreneurs so that we can both help them access the income directly and also capture loan repayment at that point. We are a software-as-a-service platform for lenders to help them track their climate investments. And they can see all of the transactions in real time visualized online. But to be as digitally inclusive as possible, we designed our technology to be feature phone first. So we use SMS, and 100% of people with phones can use our technology. Currently, we work in 2 green sectors in Nepal. One is agriculture, and one is electric vehicles. And for our impact, we target the total credit gap for greening MSMEs in emerging markets, which is $45 billion. And this is by increasing traceable ESG investments and responsible microfinance. And that impacts SDG 8 and 13. Currently, we have 22 B2B clients, including banks like Standard Chartered Bank, and traders like Karma Coffee that buy directly from coffee farmers. And the lenders have used us to disperse over $500,000 in loans. I have worked for 13 years with the World Bank and large agriculture companies in Africa and Asia. And every time I see our users, the micro-entrepreneurs, I think about my grandma and my mom. Let's join us to make sure that we give them access to financing so they can buy the best green technologies to move forward into the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tiffany. Right on time, that was great. So, okay, first one.
I totally understand the concept, but I don't understand how you receive the money to give it. So, very quick, if you can explain to us again.
So we're not a digital wallet. We don't transfer money. What we have created is basically a flexible digital check system that can trace how the financing flows. So for example, a micro-entrepreneur gets a digital loan from Standard Chartered Bank. They get it digitally, and then they can spend it at the respective vendors digitally. And then after they get what they buy, the vendors go and claim the money from Standard Chartered Bank.
You are here in the Supercool Center. What ideas did you get from being here in Supercool for the business which you are running?
I love it. I want all the EV charging infrastructure. I want the bikes that are delivering and e-bikes, because that's what we're working with. We're actively expanding in so many e-vehicle sectors in Nepal, helping informal sector micro-entrepreneurs deliver their goods, deliver people, and earn a good living. So I would love this technology there.
And have you talked to Sergio already?
No, I haven't, but I will definitely do that.
We'll do it tonight.
Great.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot for your presentation. Who are your key competitors, and why are you better than them? Thanks.
Yes. Some of our key competitors include AgriWallet in Kenya, Duitape in Indonesia, but they are very specifically focused on one sector or one value chain. And our strength is that we are able to create tailored vendor ecosystems in any sector and any value chain that you need to monitor financing.
Hello. I really love the traction, 500K of loans and understanding the global market. Do you know, what would these micro-entrepreneurs, have you measured what they would do without these loans? What is their alternative to you in the market? It's a social impact question. What is the social impact of you having created this traction?
Absolutely. So we are early startup, but we have measured some of our impact in specific loan types. So for example, we help them access training loans that help them learn how to drive the electric vehicle bus, and then they earn a better living. So in that cohort, they have earned 60% more income after the 2-month training and become drivers.
Thank you so much for presentation. Just a quick question. So you are operational in Nepal. Are you scalable? And do you have that ambition?
Absolutely. Thank you for the question. We are currently in Nepal and looking to scale to the Philippines and Indonesia. So if anyone has connections, would love to talk to you. We're looking for B2B clients that are either banks or specific traders of different value chains. Thank you.
Hey, thanks a bunch. So mastering the regulations and the standards for agriculture and for electric vehicles, those two very different sectors, is quite difficult. So why did you choose those sectors, and what are the challenges you see across those different sectors?
Absolutely. So we chose those two sectors because in Nepal, they're very informal, and one is urban and one is rural. And we also have personal backgrounds, my co-founder and I, in those sectors. So we wanted to make sure that we cover a wide range of sectors to prove our technology. In terms of regulations, we follow what the lenders have to follow. So we are not a digital wallet, so we're not regulated that way, but we follow what they need to follow, and so far we are compliant.
Thank you. If you are like a SaaS solution, I mean, you have targeted banks because I think that you are trying to bring them closer, to close the credit gap. But actually, those markers, MSCs, are served by informal sources of credit. So have you approached to them? I am referring to formal MFIs and cooperatives and SACOs that actually are the providers of your clients. Oh, they are not your clients actually, no? Those are the clients of the banks. So how scalable is that? Because the base of the pyramid and the gap are not the clients of the banks, are the clients of the MFIs and the cooperatives and SACOs and group lending. Thank you.
Absolutely. Actually, I wasn't able to present this in 3 minutes, but we work with SACOs and microfinance banks in Nepal. We work with all sorts of farmers cooperatives and entrepreneur organizations also. So the software is actually B2B kind of agnostic, right? Any type of lender can use us.
Thank you very much, Tiffany, for your presentation. We're okay. And now we approach to the last pitch of these two categories. I would like to welcome Dion from Pay Me Now, please.
Thank you.
An applause, please. Please, that's okay? You have the 3 minutes there? Okay. Okay, stage is yours.
So I want you all to imagine yourself walking in a shopping center or in a shop with your basket of groceries, and as you get to the till and you want to pay, you realize that you don't have your wallet in your pocket. Imagine that feeling. Now in South Africa, where we started, people do have their wallets in their pockets, but 1 in 2 actually have to borrow money from informal or formal lenders just to pay for their groceries. Just think about that. My name is Dion. I represent Pay Me Now. We started in South Africa, and let me tell you a little bit about the problem. So in South Africa and many of the countries that we serve, people are paid monthly, but expenses happen daily. So I'm sure you can understand the disconnect. Coupled with a very low financial literacy rate, historically financially excluded for various reasons that we can talk about, only 1 in 8 South Africans actually qualify for formal credit. Is earned wage access There's quite a few points on the board, but basically what it does is we've used technology and we want to be 10 times cheaper than anything in the market. That was the start. Basically, we integrate with payroll and we allow people who get paid monthly to now get access to some of their salary daily. So whatever they use on the platform comes off their salary at the end of the month, 10 times cheaper than a loan when it's cash. But to make this more responsible, on our app, people can buy electricity, data, food, necessity products at 0 fees. But when we built this, we thought that is still not good enough. How do we drive responsible usage? And we have gamified financial education into the platform. People go from green to bronze to silver to gold. It's a game with the benefit being 0 fees on necessity products. Really our vision to disrupt payday lending, to financially educate, and to enable savings. And our impact, which we've been measuring since 2020 when we began, we've already signed up over 250,000 employees, over 100 corporates. Over 500,000 financial education modules have been completed. But from a quality or an impact perspective, qualitative, we do an annual impact assessment with 60 decibels, and we have proved that majority of people borrow less from lenders, they have an improved quality of life. We have an NPS of 74, which is great for financial services, but the big number for us was through JP Morgan, people have an improvement in their credit score versus people that don't have access to PayMe Now. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dion, for your presentation. Jerry, please.
Thank you for your presentation. It's also a power play. I mean, employers, they, like your number said, there are less employers than employees. How do you get more employers? Will then need to pay more, so there's more equality. Yeah.
So our solution is B2B2C. Unfortunately, that is the solution, but what we do bring is we bring quality or quantity of scale. So we are able to buy groceries or food for $1 million and get maybe 3% discounts, and we are able to offer that at face value to our consumers. So it is a quantity of scale, but we are B2B2C. Hope that answers the question.
Right next to her. Who are your biggest competitors, either in that market or tangential markets, and what makes you different?
Yeah, so we did not invent earned wage access, but we pioneered it for in emerging markets. We were the first to launch in sub-Saharan Africa. We're already in 5 countries in Africa. Our competitors are banks. Some have already entered the market, but they all have ulterior motives. What's really important for us and why it's such a privilege to be here at WSA is because we are being recognized. Yes, we are a for-profit business and it drives a quality service, but the credibility of being at an awards series like this or a congress is that we also are a business for good.
Thanks a lot for your presentation. Okay, please go ahead. Okay, perhaps I misunderstood because now you say B2B2C. My question was, you said some of your clients, they don't really have money to purchase food. Do they then have money to purchase a smartphone to check everything and really practically know about your solution and everything? So how do you reach your customers? Thanks.
Thank you for that question. There was a point on accessibility. And obviously accessibility was a big topic today. So in South Africa, not everyone has a smartphone, but those that do, what we've done to really cost. And for people with a feature phone, we are also available via USSD. So there is no reason why someone cannot access our service.
Thanks, that was a good presentation. Can you explain a bit more about your profitability? And you said that when there are necessities, you're not charging anything for the service.
Yes.
But when somebody wants to borrow money from you, how much interest are you charging them? Thanks.
Yeah, so great question. So over 40% of all our transactions are in fact for necessity products, and there are no fees. Like I explained, we are able to go buy at scale. Let's say $1 million worth of grocery vouchers, we get a discount of between, say, 1% and 4%, depending on the product. Electricity, low margins. And that enables us, even though we buy the product, to give it to the employee at 0 fees. In terms of cash, unfortunately, we do fund the transaction, so we are borrowing, but because we are borrowing at scale, we get good rates, and we're able to offer it onto our users between 1% and 3% per transaction. 10 times cheaper than the market.
My question is very much connected. So just so I understand your business model, so basically you have access to the workers' wage, monthly wage, and you liberate it to them on a daily basis, right? So if you only charge, if you don't charge fees for necessity products, isn't that a bit predatory that you're charging fees for the workers to get access to their own wage?
Yeah. Thank you for the question. So it is a hybrid model. We do have some employers that actually pay for the fees, but unfortunately it's not always practical. So necessity products are free of fees, hence not predatory. We're encouraging our users to use the free of fee service, but sometimes people do need cash for whatever reason that is. And again, on that level, 10 times cheaper than the market in South Africa.
Yes, thank you for the presentation. Just a quick question. You mentioned a couple of times the financial education, and based on the numbers that you showed, this is a real necessity in the region. So how does it work? How you do that?
Yeah, thank you for the question. The app is really a lot to explain in 3 minutes. When we started, we knew giving access to money is obviously a massive responsibility. How do we ensure that if people are using the service, that they understand that there will be a deduction of their salary at the end of the month? So from day one, we built education within the fabric of the app. When you start for the very first time, you don't even get access to the full portion of your earnings that the employer sets. Remember, we're a software as a service to the corporate. So the employee logs in and they complete a budgeting tool. They complete a free credit score every 45 days that's gamified. And just by the way, if people start performing badly by not paying loans or having garnishee orders, we reduce the amount that they get available to. So it is incentivized financial education and good behavior, with the reward being 0 fees on necessity products.
Thank you very much, Dion. A big applause.
Thank you.
Thank you. I believe we have heard all the culture and tourism and business and commerce pitch. Thank you so much to all the innovators that shared their dreams, their products, their services with us. And I encourage you to talk to them, because I'm sorry, but I couldn't give the questions to everybody because a lot of hands raised. But we still have time today and tomorrow to approach them to talk a little bit more about their innovations. I would like to call Nora. And thank you very much for letting me host this space.
Thank you, Matthias. So jurors, please make up your mind and finish the voting for this category. And also remember with whom you want to sit later onwards for the mentoring. We take a 5 minutes break because I see some sweaty faces in the front. Maybe you swap with someone and take some water. And we meet here again in 5 minutes for the category Inclusion and Government. Everybody who is pitching in the category Inclusion and Government, please meet Masa, your moderator here on the side, that you can briefly align. See you in 5 minutes. to the wonderful Massa, WC National Expert from New Zealand, moderating the pitches of inclusion and empowerment and government and citizen engagement. Take it on.
Thank you so much, Nora. Welcome back, everyone. Can I please invite everyone to come to the front? We are about to start the second part of the pitches for today from inclusion and empowerment. So wait a few minutes for people to come to the front, please. Thank you so much. So you know the drill. So we have 3 minutes time for all the pitches. We have 4 winners in this category. So 2 in empowerment and inclusion and 2 in government and citizen participation. So the very first talk, it's a talk for food from India. So I would like to invite Suraj. Suraj, please welcome. So stage is yours, 3 minutes has started. Who is timing for us? Brilliant.
Okay. Khana chahiye. It's a statement and a question. In Hindi, it means, do you need food? It could also mean there's a need for food. We started on 29th March 2020, the first lockdown. It's a citizen movement. Some of us got down on the ground during the first lockdown with a few hundred meals. We thought that a few hundred people need food, but once we got on the ground, we realized it was not hundreds, but thousands of people who required the food. And as the situation and as the lockdown kept extending, it was not hundreds, but hundreds of thousands of people who required the food. So there were many complex problems that the pandemic showed up, but we decided to address the food problem. First, we got a bunch of nutritionists together. We designed a one-day meal, a single meal, which weighed around 350 grams. And also we designed a grocery kit, which would last a family of 4 for 15 days. These were the 2 food interventions. What we needed was thousands of volunteers, plus the food, the resources and the funds to pay for this. So we gave a call out to the city of Bombay. And the city of Bombay responded. The artist community, the actor community, the musicians, all of them ran multiple crowdfunding campaigns over a period of 2 years. And through their efforts, we were able to raise $2 million. And through that effort, we were able to serve around 7.2 million meals, 71,000 grocery kits, and we were able to serve around 600,000 migrant workers in that 2-year period. Post the pandemic, one more thing was, this happened through 400 of our volunteers, but we also work with 230 smaller orgs, non-profits, citizen organizations. So we had a network of 5,000 volunteers across the greater Mumbai region. Post the pandemic, we realized that the hunger was not a pandemic or a lockdown scenario. It always existed. It got amplified during the pandemic. So we decided to continue beyond the lockdowns as well. There were 2 problems. We were running out of resources. Crowdfunding was drying out. People had limited access to us because the traditional channels that we use was not really accessible to all. So we decided to create a chatbot in 3 simple languages, really simple. We monitored the first 200 interactions, and the result of the chatbot was more than 2,000 families were able to get in touch with us, and we've been able to serve them over the last 1 year. It's really simple. It works in 3 languages. This is the short-term relief effort that we're doing. The long-term relief is that we're trying to connect them to government schemes. We're trying to connect them. We're also building a hunger map, so there is a visual representation of the problem to enable a larger community to get involved. Besides this, we also run 2 community kitchens, run by the transgender community, another by a women of self-help group. I'm just going to rush through. We've got some coverage. I'm going to skip this, running out of time. We've been collaborative. We've collaborated with everybody who's been able to help us in this problem. But the main people who have driven us are the citizens of Bombay. Mumbai is a city that never sleeps. That's what they say. We're trying to build a future where nobody sleeps hungry in our city.
Thank you so much, Suraj. Thank you. I really like the name of your applications. So do we have questions? First question, please go ahead, Louisa. The mics are coming to you. If you wait a second, so let's get the mic to you first.
Thank you. Is your initiative connected to any initiative that aims to reduce food waste?
Not right now. The first 2 years, we were engaged in immediate relief because the size of the problem was too huge. Right now, we are trying to figure ways to reduce food wastage and also connect it to a community fridge initiative, because it's not enough to tell people don't waste food. What do they do with it? So we're trying to build that mechanism. Probably in a few years, few months, we'll launch a pilot with that. Yeah.
So you mentioned that crowdfunding is drying up, and that is across the globe right now. What, if anything, are you thinking about for expanding your sustainability, knowing that fact?
So we complete 3 years in 6 months. Post that, we can also apply for CSR funding. We've been held back by that. A lot of people like us, but in India, a lot of organizations have a 3-year period. The NGO has to be 3 years old. So that is like the, alternate ways of kind of, we aim to kind of raise funds through. But there also, nobody wants to give money for food. They want to put money in education. It's a tough problem we are trying to solve, but we have the city of Bombay backing us. So we're confident we'll still be able to crowdfund enough. But at scale, we were doing 70,000 meals a day. Right now, we're doing 1,000. It should be manageable. It's tough, but I think we'll manage it, yeah.
So have you thought about maybe approaching restaurants, etc.? Because
Actually,
there are a number of countries where this is being done.
So actually, I didn't cover it because time was less. We were able to do 7 million meals because we worked with 100 restaurants. We got the entire restaurant community. So out of the 400 citizens that work with us, 30 of them are restaurateurs. We worked with the Restaurant Association of India. So these 400 citizens that work with us, they're different. They're doctors, nutritionists. So these are multiple micro communities that got together. That's why we could scale up and do what we did.
And what is your thought about sustainability? Because, people give for a certain period of time,
Yeah.
after which there is some exhaustion as far as
So that's what. So we realized that we're a short-term relief effort. We're trying to work with government, trying to figure out whether people can get into public distribution schemes. The other things we're doing is we're working with larger NGOs where they can bring in education, they can bring in skill development, but we are focused on hunger. We don't want to divert into that because we are trying to reach people who have access to absolutely no food. So our focus is still food, but we're working with partnerships and trying to help the community. Osama, who's part of your community, he's helped us with a digital lab in one of the communities that we run. So through partnerships, we're trying to solve the long term, but our current focus is the immediate need of food, yeah.
So how does the city of Mumbai, here, hi.
Sorry.
How does the city of Mumbai support, and what does the city do more about that problem?
The city of Bombay, like in terms of the local government, we've not been able to do much with the local government. But if you're asking about the citizens, we turned into a non-profit right now. It's a large collective of 400 citizens. So the organization itself is the city of Bombay. So, whatever we do, it's all volunteer-driven, no salaries. We have like 2 employees. Everything else is done by volunteers. The tech we build, the policy work that we do, it's all volunteer-driven. So it is different volunteers across the city giving personal time to this. Some of us have to give a little extra time, but most of it is volunteer-driven. And I think right from the start, we branded it as the Citizens Campaign because we had no entity. We formed during the pandemic. We didn't have a history of work. But the city, we had some history of doing similar work, improving voter turnout as a group. So we had some credibility as people. But I think as we grew, and the pandemic was also a strange situation where everybody wanted to do something because the problem was visible. Everybody knew there were hundreds of people, thousands of people who needed food. So in that way, it was, and we were very, we were very open about what we do. Whatever we did, all our finances, everything was public. So people, it took time, but people had trust in it. Plus, we used our personal network of all our volunteers to build our, social reach and everything. So that helped us in building the trust of the city. And
Thank you so much, Saraj. Thank you so much. Thanks. So let's invite our second talk for this category, inclusion and empowerment. So we are going to hear from Shohan from Sri Lanka, bridging the communication gap between the state and IT people. Round of applause. Stage yours.
Hello, everyone. Hope this image relates to your neighborhood. I think these are common issues in most parts of the world: garbage dumping and environmental issues, maintenance, lapses. It's common in every part of the world. Likewise, emergency situations as well. Everybody know that these are the responsibilities of government organizations, but the fact has been the citizens has always been communicating about these issues to the respective government organizations to get this fixed. But there are challenges in communication, but they're used right now. So to bridge that gap of the challenge, we introduced a mobile application called Mankiwa. It simply translates as I told in our local language. So I am Shohan Kulasurya, founder of Monkeywa. I started this because of a personal challenge I faced. So Monkeywa is a simple mobile application where citizens can report their public grievances to respective government organizations within 3 simple steps as and when they see at any time. So this information is sent to respective government organizations, multiple authorities on real time, into multiple dashboards according to the geo areas and the responsibilities of these authorities. So these authorities will have a digital automated work order form, which the information is received to the grassroots level officer, and the management has the capacity to monitor and to look into the other stuff as well, so that they can communicate as well with the citizen through this platform. Apart from this, this is fully digitized, no human involvement in reaching the grassroots level, and also the two-way communication is available with the authorities and the citizens as well. Apart from that, we provide a management information dashboard for the tops of the organization, the heads of the organization, to take decisions for future planning and to build the efficient service in the government authorities. So the citizens are empowered to report anonymous as well. Even though they are anonymous, the authorities can communicate through the platform with the citizen being anonymous, and the citizen also can communicate being anonymous. So 3 million citizens enjoy the facility, and so we have partnered with UNDP as well to introduce this in 134 local authorities this year. So this is our journey. We have been recognized in many times, and we are looking forward. And we have solved 2,500 issues within this first 5 months. And also we have increased the efficiency level of these government authorities from 50% to 80%. And also saved a lot of time and also resources as well. And we helped in the COVID situations. And also we are looking to introduce this across the country in connecting multiple authorities, and also looking to introduce this other parts of the world, help the citizens and connect the government authorities, and looking forward to introduce in Puebla as well. Thank you very much.
Well done. Right on point. Well done, Sean. Well done. So, question for Sean. Go ahead.
Thank you for the presentation. I would like to ask how you got the government involved. What were the challenges that you faced?
Actually, when we started in 2019, this was not a concept which has been used in Sri Lanka. So it was so challenging to convince the government authorities to come on board on this platform. So initially what we did was we provided this free of charge to few government authorities to use this platform. So citizens loved this because they saved a lot of time without visiting. But the government authorities, after seeing the benefit what they get out of this, so generally they generate reports every month. So report generation is just few clicks away. So likewise, they have many other information which they can relate with the improvement of the organization. So later on, once seeing the benefit, they got on board, and we are providing on an annual subscription, so which we have started. Now they have renewed about 2 to 3 years. So the initial authorities who are joined. So we are on the process of introducing, connecting the other authorities as well.
Thank you.
Thank you for a bit quick question. You mentioned efficiency very quickly. So just to come back to this, what is efficiency here and how you measure it?
So it's available on the dashboard which is provided to the authorities, the management dashboard. So efficiency is currently measured with the issues reported and which is solved at the moment. But we are introducing the time management as well, but we not going to deep at this moment because it's very tough to bring the authorities as well. So giving the basic stuff and connecting later on.
So what equals solved? Because there's a lot of shades of gray in there. Is there a way for the person who sent the request to then comment on what happened, or how is that controlled?
So whenever incidents is sent to the authorities, as soon as the authority takes action in the dashboard, an automatic message comes saying that the issue has been assigned to this particular officer and it's been updated. So each and every time they can update the system and also change the status as well. Once it is completed, they can change the status so that the citizen is aware but that they have been attended. And also if there's any other additional information they want to grab from the citizen, they can send a message as well, and the citizen also can reply back through the system.
So I think it's really great. I know it from Vienna. The city provides that app. So how, for free, how do you finance it? What is your revenue? Where do you get it
So
from?
what I do is we onboard the government authorities and provide them on a subscription model, reasonable subscription model. Apart from that, we have partnerships like we do partner with UNDP, and we have with the corporate organizations under the CSR facilities. They connect us with as well to provide this in respective government authority areas.
So for the customer, it's free?
It's free for the customers, yeah.
Thank you.
One last question.
What type of data or information is most attractive, or what type of incidents happen most often? I would be keen to know. And then secondly, do you perhaps also offer services building on that, preventative measures that you could develop in the future and also offer? Thank you.
So in Sri Lanka, majority of the issues being reported is potholes on the road and the garbage dumping. So now the authorities who are on board takes immediate action on this. And also with regard to the data what we collect, we don't collect any data from the citizen. It's anonymous reporting. Citizen, anybody can download and report. But we are trying to build in more evaluation services on the platform, initially focusing on introducing the citizen communication, but later on bring in more value addition to the platform to provide value addition services, and also to digitally transform the government authorities and help them on their processes.
Thank you so much, Rohan. Thank you. One more time. Thanks. Well done.
Our next speaker for the next category, which is government and citizen participation, is Iman from Jordan, citizen-friendly e-government. So please welcome Iman to the stage. The floor is yours, and you have 3 minutes.
Change my mind, guys. I'm joking. Okay. Perfect. Okay. So everyone in this room is a citizen of his country, but before being citizens, we're human beings, and definitely we would rather to spend some good quality time with our friends and family, doing the things we love, rather than driving, waiting for long lines to apply for a service, and overall feel dissatisfied with the service we are getting. For government, great customer experience used to mean adding more people and dramatically increasing costs and expenses. However, this is not the case today. As a government, we have decided to go digital. So technology has given us that opportunity and that option. Today, we have Senate as a one-stop channel or shop for digital government services. For citizens to get the most out of Senate application, they have to activate their digital identity first in order to access multiple features and services, including accessing their latest personal records, like properties, insurance, health, etc. They use their digital documents as a traditional documents to the physical documents they have, so they no longer need to require to hold or carry their physical documents. They can apply for government services and get the service delivered to their doorstep. They can also make bill payment and digitally sign documents. So we talked more about like Senate. Let's talk about the social and economic impacts and the benefits of Senate. Senate today plays an important role in driving customer experience and boosting that satisfaction level for the citizens by enabling citizens to enjoy free services at some point, and they can use these services 24/7 using single sign-on. They can help us achieve green paperless environment and cashless economy as well. They can also track the application status, increasing transparency, maintaining and building that trust between the citizens and the government. The key question is, did we succeed? Did we achieve our goal? It's been like 1 year and a little bit more since we launched Senate, and our numbers are showing great things. So user satisfaction level has increased to 4.8 out of 5 stars on the stores. The digital take-up for digital documents and activating the digital identity is more than 500K. The number of online transactions is more than 2.5 million, and the adoption of digital document has increased. 25% of our target segment are heavily relying on digital documents in their day-to-day life. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Iman. You still have a few more minutes. Well done.
Thank you.
So, questions for Iman?
Congratulations. We were actually talking, not about your project, but talking about this yesterday, and one of the issues that came up is that although this is amazing, it could help, it could make a big gap for people that don't have access to the internet. So what do you think about that in terms of older people or people in vulnerable communities who don't have access to a mobile device or internet?
Sure. That's a great question. So we've took this into consideration. So today, based on the statistics and the numbers we have, that was, I believe, in 2021, 2022, we have more than 85% in each house, there's a smartphone. And we rely on the youth to teach their parents on how to use the service. There is also another part, our ministry worked on that solution, digital solution. However, we have a centralized, I would say, centers across the kingdom where people can go visit and apply for more than one service at the same location. So we have started with 15 locations, and now we're expanding across the whole kingdom. And of course, we don't forget the walk-in, of course, a service or option where citizens need to go there.
Alicia, go ahead.
Yes, very, very cool. So how do you attract new users?
So basically, this is a good question as well. When we launched Senate, the main core is the activation of the Senate digital identity. There was a debate within the ministry whether we enforce the digital identity versus leave it and see how the adoption of citizens are using it. So we took the later option. We didn't enforce it. We started with promoting, making short videos in each case. I need to renew my passport, talking to my friend. I need to go today and waste 3 hours to apply for a government passport and then wait for 2 days or 2 hours or whatever. Now I can do it through the mobile, and it's get delivered to my home, including the bill payment. So this is the type of videos that we've done. Of course, other awareness sessions. We started with the government entities as well, and then the private sector.
Thank you, Iman. So we have another question there.
So has this created a net overall engagement or a net overall increase in government engagement? So traditional plus digital.
Sorry, can you repeat again?
Has this created a net increase in engagement with the government? So traditional plus digital, or is it just replacing?
Got it, okay. So it's not a replacement. So if I look at it, I'm not only looking at the transactions, I'm also looking at the community participation. We usually don't hear the good stuff from the citizens. So in Senate, we have multiple services where we try to engage citizens to get their feedback. What is it that they need to include or enhance as a digital government services? And we take that into consideration. Apart from the feedback and enhancement, the number of services, I don't have real numbers, but since we launched last year, we have 2.5 million transactions. The walk-in, it was reduced 10%, but that's the old numbers because we didn't really today measure the numbers. But we saw an increase in the adoption of digital identity.
Thank you so much, Iman. So we have 2 more questions. So Jahan, go ahead, and then we come to you.
So very cool. I think it's much needed. But how is it? What's the innovation part? Because this kind of application exists in many countries, right? Already. So what's the innovation here? Can you tell us?
Okay. So Senate Gateway or mobile app, we have looked across the region. Of course, we didn't cover every country. But for example, in our region, there is a mobile app just for digital identity. And then if I need to go, for example, a government entity to prove my digital ID, I have to use another application, just like Google Authenticator. In Senate, it's different. So Senate, it's a one platform, digital identity, digital documents as well, all my personal information. And if there is an information that might be not accurate, there is a service within Senate that we can use to update my information, where applicable, of course. So it has multiple components.
We have one last question. If you can please keep the answer to 5 seconds, okay?
Sure.
No pressure.
Yes, we can keep it short.
No pressure.
I had more or less the same question, but further on that, do you have plans to implement this system also in other countries?
So actually, this was the last thing I wanted to check or inform to the jury. Sorry, just give me a few seconds. Of course, we're not looking for fundraising. We're looking for the connections we have the experience on how we implemented this. We need the connections, the exposure to the world. We believe we're living in like a small world. We live together. We need to make it happen for everyone globally. So we need that part that we are missing today to make it globally.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. Well done. Our last speaker for this category is Fazuddin from Nigeria, social accountability on a sub-national level. Please welcome Fazuddin. Stage is yours.
Good afternoon. I know my name will definitely give Professor some few headaches, but it's okay. I am Fazuddin Mahmoud, and I'm from Nigeria. And the solution that I have today is a civic tech initiative that provides access to information so that we properly empower citizens to ask all the right questions and demand accountability and transparency from their governments. A lot of people ask, there are a lot of initiatives worldwide, that are into the issue of social accountability, holding the government accountable. So then the question is, how different are we? How are we different? Okay, we are different in such a way that we provide a very narrow focused approach to the quest for social accountability, in the sense that we at the subnational level. In Nigeria, we have a lot of big names that basically deal with what happens at the national level in Abuja, and if you go down at the state level, they have no presence. So it is that vacuum that we seek to actually bridge. For me, it's easier. For a lot of people, it's easier for us to reach our governor, our local commissioner, than to reach the president or the federal minister. So that's the background. So what's local context? I'm from Zamfara State. It's one of the poorest states in the country. And it is, if you look at the statistics that come from the country, basically all socioeconomic indices, Zamfara State is actually ranking very, very lowly. First of all, if you look at the literacy rate, it is the third bottom in the country. If you also look at access to primary healthcare service, it's rock bottom in the country. So now, the fact is not that the people do not really care. The people really are concerned that, the people are really concerned that the government is not working. They cannot take their kids to school. They cannot access healthcare and what have you. But the problem is that they cannot actually hold the government accountable because they do not know how to do that. They do not have the basic information to hold the government accountable, and that is where we come from. That's where we come in. That's why we are creating access to such information so that local people can understand governance, government, how government works, and so that they can agitate for more. So now what do we do? First of all, we create access to information. In Zamfara State, we have 80% rural population, so that means not everybody has access to school. The literacy rate is very, very poor. So we use local language, Hausa, which is local language, to actually give access to information. And we also follow public projects. We've tracked a lot of projects in the state, and also do civic engagement. All those projects that we try as much as possible to engage government and engage citizens so that they know the status of those projects.
Thank you so much, Sams. I hate to cut you short, but time is over.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So any question for Fazuddin? Connor.
Hello. Yes, you were just getting into telling us the product,
Yeah.
so I'm going to throw a softball.
It's okay.
Can you tell us just in one sentence, what is it?
It is a civic tech platform that provides access to public information in the local context. That's it. Thank you.
Dorothy in the front.
What kind of public information are you giving access to?
Yeah.
And how are you measuring whether or not people are happy with what you're doing?
Yeah, so first of all, we focus mainly on the fiscal budget because we believe that the budget is actually pivotal and instrumental in the socioeconomic trajectory of the people in the state. So the more government improve in budgeting and expenditure and budgeting properly, the better it is for the people. And prior to our coming, a lot of people don't even know, what budget is. They don't even have interest in all those figures, how the money is generated, how the money is being spent. But after our coming, a lot of people, have this self-consciousness to ask, okay, so amount has been generated, or so amount has, been in the government coffers. How do they spend the money? People are now, actually interested in that. And also, there is the issue of federal representation. People that are from Nigeria actually know there is what we call the constituency project, where we have federal lawmakers that nominate those projects to be executed in local communities. Prior to our coming, a lot of people don't know that. So they elect federal lawmakers, they go to Abuja, they spend 8, 12 years with nothing to show back in their constituency. But after our coming, a lot of people are using our information to demand more from these local, from their lawmakers, so that, they demand more from them, more purposeful representation, and, better socioeconomic prosperity for the people in the state.
Gentlemen, can I please ask, we have a few more questions here, so let's go with one question. Thank you so much.
So, how many people are using your platform now? And do you charge for it?
No. So now, okay, if I can just take you out through the figures. So now, we've created an organic, active social media community of more than 10,000 people across various social media handles. So a lot of people engage, with the information that we post, and there are a lot of downloads also. And also in the aspect of government, also we've provided institutional support, in the issue of fiscal budgeting and project implementation.
If you can keep the answers short and sweet, so we have 2 more questions for you.
Okay.
So, John, go ahead.
So I see this as a mechanism for facilitating freedom of information requests, which is a very hard thing.
Yeah.
And so what do you do to combat both the legal and social pressures against wanting to do that?
There are public documents, documents that are meant for virtually everybody. So, for example, you don't need any legal backing to download the budget. You don't need any legal framework to, understand and spread information that has to do with, the budget. It's a public document. Everybody has access to it. So there's no any legal framework to say, okay, this is my information, don't use it. So it's a public document and everybody has access to it.
Go ahead.
Thank you. When you say we change the narrative, who are you talking about? Because the one in charge of changing the narrative is also giving their ideas.
So when I say changing the narrative, it means that we are moving people from one particular phase to the other in terms of empowering them with the right information for them to ask all the right questions. Like I said, prior to our coming, nothing was existent. There's this apathy towards issues that have to do with government. People are not even interested in that. But now we've changed the narrative. People are now self-conscious about what the government is getting, what the government is spending, or what is the government actually spending the money. And people, ask all the right questions at the very right moments.
Last question.
So what is the parallel activity in lobbying and advocacy that you do in order to change the legislative?
Okay, legislation is very, very important, and that's why I said we provide institutional support. For example, a couple of months back, late last year, we embarked on a research that peered back into 4 years of the fiscal policies that the state government had adopted, and so that we can be able to identify where are those blemishes, where are the problems, in terms of policy implementation and also policy adoption, so that we can be able to liaise with the relevant ministries, right? So that, together we can tell them, okay, here, this is what you've been doing, and this is part of what you've done for the past couple of years. It's not working. How can we work together to help you to change that? And I would love to share 1 or 2 things, but my time is up. Thank you.
That was great. Thank you so much. Thank you. Well done. And just a reminder to all our jurors, please complete your voting. And just a quick note, Nigeric apps, unfortunately, they are not here. So there is one pitching was missing today. But this was the end for the 2 categories, empowerment and government and citizen participation. So I can see our first row started melting. So I hope you're feeling better at the back. But I would like to pass everything to Nora. Do you want to give them a stretch?
Thank you, Masa. Not yet, but we will bring water but we have 3 more to go, and that's the WSA Young Innovators. And 5 minutes break. Okay, 5 minutes break, if you make it 5 minutes. I will drag you personally to the front.
Chris?